My screen sharing is paused. All right. We are going to be recording now, I think. So hopefully sharing that screen. All right. So doing Google Forms today. It's a great tool, not maybe utilized every day, but really something that can be useful when you really do need it. Let me pause that. Okay. So let's jump in. I'm Clint. You guys know me, but if you're joining us later on YouTube, Clint Stevens, I'm the Technology Trainer Integration Specialist at Southwest Educational Development Center in Cedar City. This, I believe, is number 70 of our Tuesday Tech Talk series. So we're getting up there. So we've had our Google tools for a long time, but how many of us have really gone beyond just really simple kind of stuff, quick and fast, document or a simple slideshow. Have either of you two used Forms? Give me like a thumbs up, thumbs down with your reactions down there at the bottom of the Zoom window. Are Forms new to you, or you had some experience? You can open your mic too.
I've used it a little.
Okay, sorry about that. I had you in my headphones, so say that one more time.
I've used it just a little.
Okay, perfect. So there's some really nice things that Forms is it's actually using a little bit of artificial intelligence to kind of think ahead and maybe help you work a little faster, but it can do some really helpful things for you. I've always said this, every time I train on Google Forms, I so wish I would have had this. I taught science for 12 years, and a lot of the times we're talking about some things, and I had my kids go home, collect data from their family, and then for us to come back and aggregate it back all together. I had to draw this giant, thing on the chalkboard, and everyone came up and wrote their data down, and then everybody else was writing their, everyone else's data down. And this would have just, simplified it like that. Just create a Google form, and then each response would come in, and then you can automatically generate a spreadsheet from the form responses. And then from there, you can make graphs and charts and, summarize your information. Super, super useful. So we're just kind of taking bits and pieces each month out of this full Google slide deck, which is here, that has all of the Google Educator Level 1 tasks for taking the Level 1 certification test. And it's kind of funny that we've been reviewing some of these things. Chris and I both got emails about 2-3 weeks ago saying that ours was expiring at the end of the month and we need to renew it. So actually, Chris and I are going to be taking this Level 1 exam again to recertify on Friday. So good review for us for sure. And I think just a good training and simple review for you folks as well. So let's get there. Let's give it a try. So I've pulled in the form slides from that other document, and I'll share the link to that full review. It's one we've been using for the drive and for the email summaries. And so here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to learn how to use the basics of Google Forms, learn how to add different types of questions, learn how to collect anonymous feedback, customize the design, and save drafts, and maybe even a little bit more. And these are all links to the Google Help forms with the step-by-step instructions on how to do all of this. I'm going to record it and walk you guys through. But if you do have any questions as we go, please don't hesitate to speak up and stop me. Or if you want to look a little deeper into something, we can do that because we should have plenty of time. There's just about 4 or 5 tasks that we need to go through. So let's jump in. So Forms is an easy way for you to create a survey to gather information from students, from parents, from everybody in the school. I know some schools have probably used this for student body officer voting, things like that. And there's things you can do to kind of, you can set the number of responses to 1 or 2 or, however many you want. It does require that people sign in. So I'd just be careful making those kind of required questions and things like that with folks outside your school, because not everybody has a Gmail account. They might not be able to log in to access your form. But again, great for collecting group information, project data, feedback for field trips, formative quiz. A few years ago, they added the ability to take a form and turn it into a quiz by not only allowing you to choose the correct answer or answers, those tough multiple choice, multiple select with multiple answers that are correct, but also feedback based on if they guess or if they choose correctly or not in a multiple choice test. So if you're given a quiz and on question number 2, student gets it right, the feedback you can give is say, hey, good job, way to go on to the next question. Or if they get it incorrect, you can actually put in a link to like an article online or even a video that would review the content of where this was taught. So really powerful, not only formative feedback, but instant feedback for students and instant reteaching as well, which is neat. Check for class understanding and nicely collect anonymous feedback. You can make these forms so that they're totally open and anonymous, and you can get some good honest feedback. So let's dive in. First step here, and I've just got my alter ego, this training account that I'm logged into. This is my Google Drive. And let me see if I can split my screen. I don't have my handy dandy tool or extension that automatically splits my screens. Let's see if we can make it work. Can you guys still read that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to shrink my drive over here. And so we'll go left-hand side is what we're working on, the right-hand side of the instructions. All right, create a new Google form and title it Class Survey. So again, from my drive, click New, and Google Forms is there. And I always like to point out that here, if you've got this little arrow over here, blank form, blank quiz, or there's lots of templates that are really great that have already been done. This is going to be your school template gallery. It might be empty, but if you look under general, you can see it under education, exit tickets, course evaluations, worksheets, RSVPs, registration for event, sign up for t-shirts, party invites. So I always say work smarter, not harder. So if you can start off with a template that's already kind of going in the direction you want to go, jump on it. I would say use that every time. But I'm just going to come here and make a new empty form, just a blank form, and we're going to call it Class Survey. Untitled form up here, class. All right. And it's smart. It kind of thinks, oh, you might want to have the title of those match. So I didn't even have to add it there. And then add it to my subfolder of lessons. So back in Drive, here's my new untitled form. If I reload the page, I've got it kind of zoomed in so you can see it. Here's my class survey. And to move it, I can either, if I want to do it this way and say move to and choose where I want it to go, or if lessons is right there, I can just drag and drop it in. Hey, there's Chris. Chris, we're just getting started. You've only missed my preamble, so.
Okay, sorry I'm late, but yeah, I got to catch
Oh, no,
up
you're
on
fine.
this because
Not
I'm
a
taking
problem.
my test too.
I'm going to use you later on. I have to share this with a colleague.
There
Okay.
you go.
Excuse me. We need to create 3 questions: a multiple choice, a drop down, and a date question. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's see. Scrolling. So I've got my new survey. I've added it to my subfolder. First question is multiple choice. So the question types are right here: short answer, longer answer, paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes, drop downs. So these can be automatically graded if you turn them into a quiz. Short answer and paragraph, you're going to have to go in and assess those. But you can also do linear scales, multiple choice grid, checkbox grids, a date and time question right there. So first question in my class survey is, what should we do for our end of year party? Okay, and then option number 1 can be pizza and movie. If I just tab through, or I can just click add an option or add other. What else would be a fun activity? Maybe a service project. Add an option.
Laser tag.
Oh, there you go. Is it a Z?
I think it's an S.
Laser tag. Laser tag. And what else?
Could you add an option for other, let people suggest, or you want to
You
keep
bet.
it limited?
Yeah, and that's nice. It's this add other is just other, and it allows you to people to put in what they want. I always like to minimize the number of those that I put in, because when you get on the spreadsheet side of it, and if you get into the hundreds of submissions area, then summarizing the stuff becomes problematic. So the more options you can provide that are just you pick and choose, that's the easiest. Whoops, undo that. And then for fun, you can also add images, and I can search if I have pictures I want to use for each question, or if you want to put an image up in the question stem, you can do that. I'm going to just say Google Images, and I'm going to search for pizza party and see if it'll grab us something accordingly. Lovely. Insert. And so then I'll have a pizza party image there, and service project. I don't need to put in pictures for all of them, but you get the idea. And you'll maybe have the picture up here too for a party. Just PARTY. Party time. There we go. Insert. Okay, we got to put it one for laser tag, and then I'll move on. This is just kind of fun. Yeah, we did this a couple years ago, and it was a blast. Let's see. That works. Is that what I'll try that one instead. Okay. All right, next question. I got to make another one, a drop-down question. So to add a new question, this little funky toolbar is floating along with me. See how it kind of moves down and is always there. Hit the plus to add a new question. It'll always put it after the question that you're on. And I can tell which question I'm editing by the blue purple bar out there to the left. So this is going to be a drop down. So let's see. Drop down. And just for fun, some of the AI in here to help you out is really kind of cool. So what day of the week should we have our party? And so I come down here and there's suggestions at all. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'll do that. And I'll take off Saturday and Sunday because we don't want to have a school party, at the end of the over the weekend. So there we go for that. So that's a multiple choice. Can I make that a drop down? Let's see, a drop down. Yeah, I can. So in that, when I look at that, instead of having radio buttons for each one, they'll just click a little drop down, and I can preview what my form is going to look like with the little eyeball button up here at the top.
So Clint, I always get confused between drop down and multiple choice. On either of those, they can only still choose one, or?
But on the drop down, you only see the options when you.
But either one, it's only one choice, right?
Multiple choice, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, correct. Each one. You might be able to do multiple select on. You might be able to have that in the. Oh, you know what? No, that's going to be the check boxes.
Yeah.
The check boxes, you can choose multiple choices, just choose one.
I always forget that part.
Yep. So there's a drop down question for us. That works cool. So I'll close that preview. That's our drop down, and then a date one. So let's see what day of the week. I'm going to add a new question, and this is the date option. When I choose that, the options I have is say, please pick, what's your birthday?
March 21st. Oh, sorry.
Got a big party here.
Oh.
Did we have a party for
Oh, I got you. What you're saying. Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Let's see, birthday. Happy birthday, birthday. That one's cute. Okay, when is your birthday? And then they will pick a month, day, year right there. Okay, any other questions on these question types? As Chris said, the check boxes, they can choose as many as they want. So if you're doing like an opinion survey, and if you want them to be able to choose multiple ones, use a checkbox. Or if you wanted to do it on a linear scale, like you want to ask them, how was the year as far as, my responsiveness to your questions? And then you could say 1 was terrible and 5 was exceptional. You can put in whatever range you want. So any other questions on the question types there?
So what does that required button mean?
Good job. I need to make all of them required. Mark all questions required. Good question, Chris. Thanks for
So
keeping.
when would you not do that?
When it's kind of an optional thing,
Yeah.
like, if
There's nothing more frustrating to me than filling out a form that it's a required question, but it doesn't apply. And,
Yeah.
So you've got to answer something.
Yeah, just don't get in the habit of making everything required. If you don't want me to know your exact birth date for safety reasons, that's fine. If you want me to know when your birthday is, so I'll send you a card, that's optional. So if you don't check that required, it means they can submit the form without answering that question. If you make it required, you can't submit the form without responding. Let's see, create a new section with 1 question and mark it optional. Okay, so sections. When we use sections, mostly like we've just finished doing session proposals for the Rural Schools Conference. And so the first section is kind of just information about the presenter. And then we make another section that's information about the session they're proposing. And then we have a question at the end of that one that says, do you have a co-presenter? And if they say yes, then they go on to section 3. If they say no, then you can just take them to the end to submit the form. So you don't want people filling out information that's not pertinent to them, that they don't need to fill out. So untitled section, this is what we call this, Chris. This is a bonus.
Oh, there you go.
There we go, bonus. And the question's going to be, who is your favorite SEDC trainer? Mark all that apply.
There you go.
Okay, and then option 1 would be Chris. Option 2 would be Celine. Option 3 would be Clint, Scott, Joe, B, McKay. You get the idea. Okay, and that I'm not going to make it option or not going to make it required. So we'll leave that one like that. Okay, questions on sections, because right here, this is the crux on the section. So after section 1, continue, jump to bonus, or so what I would do here maybe is put in another question after this one and say, would you like to answer the bonus question?
So otherwise they don't see that question unless they answer correctly, and then it sends them off.
And then you say add all yes, no, or maybe. I'm gonna get rid of maybe. But say yes or no, and then after section 1, let's see, continue to, let's see. Oh, that's right. I have to come in here and say goes to section based on answer. So that's a little snowman menu. Or kebab, is that what they call it?
Kebab, yeah. Can you believe
I like
that?
snowman better.
I like snowman better.
It's a skinny.
And the hamburger.
That's right. So if they say yes, go to the bonus. If they say no, submit the form. And then section 2, There we go. So now if I preview it, because now we're going to fill it out. That's, I think, the next thing we need to do. Oh, set up the form. Okay, I'll wait to fill it out. There are some options, and it's good to know these things. Your responses will come in on this tab. And then under the settings, super important. So this is how you make a question a quiz. When you turn that on, it all of it then triggers options on the questions to come in here and say, right here, answer key, boom. Which one is correct? What's the correct answer? We don't really want to make that one a quiz question. They're all correct, right? Can I mark them all? I can mark them all, right? Okay, for that one. And then answer based on feedback. That was what I was talking about before, is if they're incorrect, enter feedback. Good job, nice try. Did you think about this? And then you can send them to a link or to a video to help reteach that concept. If it's correct, you can just say, hey, great job, congratulations. So that's super helpful, really nice. What day of the week should we have our party? Again, 0 points. It's a drop down because, let's see. I don't know why it's not giving us something for that. Maybe it's just because it's the wrong kind of question. Anyway, I'm not going to make it a quiz anyway, so I'm just going to turn that off. This is really important to know.
Right.
By default, it's going to say restrict to users in your school district. So if you wanted to send this out to parents, you'll get 100 emails back that says, I can't fill out your form's locked. And it's super embarrassing. So I always, since I work with 6 people and I can talk to them every day, I don't usually use a form inside of my building. If it's something that's just going to be for students, just going to be for teachers, you can restrict that. It does require them to be signed into Google to do it. And so again, that's the problem. If you're sending it to parents, it's a double issue because they're not going to have a Millard County School District email address to log into to take the form. And here you say, oh, collect email addresses. I'd like to have that. But that requires, oh, that's new.
Yeah, I noticed that the
that's
other
very
day.
nice.
Why has it got 2 choices? I was wondering about that. So they can put it
Okay,
in,
so
or that's the
the only
verified.
option used to be that verified,
Uh-huh.
which means they would need to be signed in. So I never used it. And I just got in the habit of asking that, what's your email address question?
Yeah.
So that verified, if you want to make sure that it's within your, it's a verified person, cool. If you just need an email address, responder input. That's very nice. It's new.
And I like that because the problem I have with using the verified, I don't like using it because then like if I get that, but I'm logged into my personal email trying to answer it, it's picking up that and it wants me to use my school or SEDC email. So if you're sending it to outside your emails, then it makes more sense to look at that
Okay.
outside your district.
Let's get through our tasks here. Limit it to 1 response. They can only fill that once. They do need to be signed into Google to do that. It's fine. Edit their responses, allow editing. No. So, that is turning it on.
Yeah.
That means they can go back and change their answers. See a summary at the end, and that's under this presentation tab. Show progress. If you want to do that, you can. If you're doing a quiz and you want to shuffle them, you can do that. Let's see, view results summary. That's that option there. And then do not collect emails. So
But
how do
that
I
one
limit
shares it
response
with
and not
those-
collect emails?
But that one shares with the respondents, right? That's not where it's seeing the result summary for you. That's where it shares with the
Yes, for the
respondents.
respondents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's so they can see it.
Yeah.
Limit to 1 response.
And
So do not collect. Limit to 1 response. Okay. Those need to be signed in. Okay, that's fine. So Google will know who they are, but they can only fill it out once. Okay. And then change the confirmation message. This is always nice too. So the standard one says, your response has been recorded. So come in here and say, thank you. Whoops. I can't wait for the party. There we go. Then save that. Okay, we're getting close to time. Dang, I didn't think this would happen because there wasn't a whole lot of. Any questions so far? You guys doing okay? let me give you the, if you need to bail, let me give you the roll link in the chat. If you want to keep going, you're welcome to hang out with us. Because again, Chris and I are cramming for a test here. So we're refreshing our own memory. So happy to stick around. If you need to go, it's totally fine. We appreciate it. Okay.
Can
So
you show
customize your
another
form.
one real quick, Clint, another form that you have that you can show the responses? Because this one's not going to have any, but just, it's so nice to see that summary of responses with the pie charts. I don't know if they're
Logged
familiar
in
with
as
that.
my trainer.
Oh, okay.
So forms.
That's, yeah.
Type is a form. Let's see if I have any in here. And I've got it zoomed away yet. Search.
Mm.
No matching results. Yeah. So
Okay.
if I switch windows, it won't be shared.
Yeah,
So
and it'll take some, but it's really nice because when you look at the
They're very
summary,
nice.
you get little pie charts of all the responses, and it's really good to do as a classroom activity too, to kind of show responses.
Okay, so customize the form. So this nice little paint palette is where you customize the theme. Let's see, add in header images from an optional upload. I will just find something that looks like party, because that's
Party.
what we're doing here. Movie party, right? No, we're deciding on what to do. So how about just some balloons and stuff like that? Insert that. And then it's going to change all the colors and highlights and fonts based on that. Select a font for the headers. Roboto's kind of, let's go with quicksand for that. And then the text, we want something more fun and schooly. Let's see. Trebuchet, I like that one. And let's see, header image, change the background color to darker. Okay, so all that's in that theme. Again, if I want to see what this is looking like, hit the eyeball button there. Last survey, I've got the fonts. There we go. So far, so good. Share your form with a colleague. Okay, so send the form. The send button, normally there's share up there in Google Documents, but with a form it's send. So that's not sharing with anybody. But if I go to right here, add an editor, I can bring in Chris and she can add her je ne sais quoi, you know, her special sauce to it. Make her an editor of the form and help. Whatever, and send it off. So she can make, you know, updates, put in different pictures and things like that. Okay, complete your own form once and view the responses. So I'll do the preview. No, I don't think the preview saves those. So I'll go back to send. I can email the form to people. I can get a link for it. I can shorten the link because it's long and nasty. That's still a terrible link, but you can shorten it. Or this will allow you to embed it in your Google site, in your school website, wherever you can embed stuff. Or if you want to send it away on Facebook or Twitter, you can do that as well. I'll just copy the link. I'll open that up in another identity. Let me grab a window real quick. Okay. You seeing my nice Grecian C there?
Seeing what? I see the pop-up.
The pop-up. So you're not seeing this window?
I'm seeing the send form window.
Okay.
Pop up.
Let me stop my share and share it again. I guess I was sharing a window and not a specific thing. Okay. So not shared my email, but it's grabbing my email address. I say pizza movies. And what day of the week? I like Wednesday parties. Breaks up the week. My birthday is February 17th, 16th. Let's just pretend it was in 2023. Okay, I've got 2 sections to go. Yes, what's the bonus question? Next. Who is your favorite trainer? Mark all that apply. I can't pick one favorite. But just for fun, I'll leave Scott off so let's see what it looks like in in the results. Submit my form. Thank you. Can't wait for the party. I can see other responses if any had done that. So I'm going to close that window. And okay, so I was just sharing that specific. Let's see. Let me go back to here. Share that. All right. Oh, Chris got the responses too. Very good. And so these are those nice pie charts and things that she mentioned that it gives. So one says service project, and it's nice when you hover over, it gives you the legend here. If I click on that, I should be able to see. Nope, it's anonymous maybe. I can go in here to individual responses and see that this is person 1 of 2. It's anonymized, and 2 of 2. There's the service project. So I can see individual responses, or the summary will allow me to do that. There's the birthdays. Everyone's answering the bonus question. Oh, thank you. And nobody likes Scott. I'll have to
We'll have to share
part of the
that.
video with him. All right, so that's the summary. Real nice. And then this is also wonderful. Create a spreadsheet of responses. So up here, it says link to sheets. And so you can take a spreadsheet, create a spreadsheet based on the responses, or dump them into an existing spreadsheet. I usually make a new one, hit create. And then it'll make a new spreadsheet for me. It always grabs a timestamp of when that was filled out, questions along the top, the data collected underneath. And then from there, you can make your own pie charts and summaries and all kinds of good stuff that you can do with a spreadsheet. Okay, next response. Okay, that's it. We now are masters of Google Forms, or at least a little bit.
Ready for our test.
Well, for that section of it anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so there's some links there. I'll make sure I dump those into the chat. And my chat went away. Here we go.
You got it?
Lisa had to sign off. Yeah, I'm good. So there are those links, and I'll share them in the credit stuff. I've reused the links that we talked about for Google Drive. So this backup and sync, I cannot highly recommend this more, to just download it for your desktop. And what it does is it's not saving your Google documents. Well, it does that too. It saves your Google documents to your computer so you can use them natively, but you can say anything that's in my documents folder and on my desktop, I want you to save to my Google Drive account. And it's just a way to back up your documents so that when your computer dies, it's not if, it's just a matter of when. You're not going to lose anything and go through that pain. So I can't recommend installing that backup and sync more highly. If you're moving to another district or retiring and want your data, Google Takeout can help you out with that. And then again, that's this link to the slides that has all of these little tutorial bits. And then level 1 educator, that's the information on where I'm going to go tomorrow to register for my test. That is a 3-hour test. It's $10 to take, but just a great activity. And like I said, we're teaming up. It's going to be Chris and Joby and I that are working through it together. You have to stay at your computer, but it's open Google. It's open, you can talk to each other about the responses. And there's a multiple choice question section, and then a practical session. And that practical bit is where you're going to be doing the things that we've done. But a great thing. All right. Denise, any questions? I'm 7 minutes over. I thought I'd have plenty of time today.
That's because I came to help you.
It's all right.
Oh,
I'm
you're
happy
good.
for
It was good.
Okay. And then my reviews here again, our April choice board is just getting in and using Nearpod. There's 10 great ways to use Nearpod. I'd like you to make a Nearpod or two and choose 5 of those to implement, and then share that activity with me, or do a screencast taking me through those 5 ways that you've used it.
And Denise, we did Nearpod last week. So if you wanted to go back and look at that recording too, we showed some of the resources in Nearpod.
Okay, because I haven't had a chance to do that yet because I missed last week. So
Yeah. Yeah, it
On my
might be
list
good to
of things-
review. Yeah.
it's on my list of things to do.
No
The
worries.
never ending list, huh?
Never ending
Yeah.
list,
It
right?
never ends.
And then next week is a challenge for Chris and I. We have neglected a lot of our colleagues are telling us how great Canva is, and neither of us have used it. We've used it a little bit, but haven't really dug in. So we're going to learn and present Canva, create slides, and have some fun with Canva next week. And we'll team up and present that for you next week. Again, we meet here every week. The archive videos go to that address right there all the time. And Utah Ed Chat tomorrow is Kayla Towner talking about end of year testing and what you do to prepare for it, what you're going to do afterwards. Just kind of gearing up to wind the year down. It is, we're rapidly approaching a month to go, right? Being pretty close. And then some good podcasts. The latest episode of UN Homeroom is the recap of USET 2023. I'm about halfway through listening to that one. And then the USET podcast, again, was live from USET, talking to people who were at the conference. And I shared the rollout with you, told you where the things were going to be posted. So